我们这个研讨会，我们会邀请国外的艺术家或者是学者，来去帮我们讨论，或者是用他们的角度来去观看，当代陶瓷创作的各种不同的面向。那透过他们的诠释，或许各位可以更清楚地了解到说，陶瓷创作的背后，它也是有很明显的一种概念的进行。
The beginning of my review in the exhibition catalogue with a reference to the very important American painter Philip Guston, who once suggested, an artist can make work about two things only: the world they live in and their idea of self. Cynical and skeptical about the socio-political world he witnessed in America during the mid-20th century, Guston chose instead to make art about his own internal life. In this present exhibition, there are a significant number of artists who trade in economic repetitiveness of form and seriality to build complicated aesthetic constructions. Their primary appeal lies firstly with the denial of the hand in order to promote the sensuality of the eye. Evidential formality demands a cerebral rather than an emotional response. This elevates comprehension above the immediate world of physical appearance, in order that meaning assumes greater metaphorical consequence. Exercising consummate control over the material qualities of clay is one strategy employed in the service of heightening awareness of the natural world. This work by an American artist conflates the idea of exterior appearance with a notion of interiority. In a very similar approach, the initial response to this work from South Korea is to marvel at the technical virtuosity in achieving such complexity and intricacy of design and construction. This work gives primary attention to the transformation of sticky mud to assume an altogether different identity as an organic abstraction and celebration of the complexity of natural phenomena. The tradition of figurative sculpture in clay has always represented a means to mine those visceral feelings associated with the human condition. Conventionally, works that are figurative representations of the human body attempt to persuade us to imagine ourselves within their clay skins. However, in a contemporary world that others have defined as postmodern, notions of identity are increasingly provisional, multiple, de facto, and mobile. This Canadian artist presents us with a disproportionately oversized head. The humanity of this sculptured head appears truncated, as it were, by a practical yet dehumanized industrial trolley. For me, the monumentality of this head is reminiscent of a boyhood fascination for all things ancient and distanced. Those images from antiquity of monumental figures hewn from hard stone that the passage of time has left to us as fragments. Uses an inscrutable wit to overload the overly familiar with the overly used, dressing the ubiquitous European ornamental dog with the ill-fitting and the inappropriate. All humanity may have evaporated from this work, replaced instead with a very wry critique and conceptually cute commentary of the postmodern human condition. The ceramic works within this category of manifesting the environmental are for the most part clearly divested from obvious functionality. These works loosen the traditional connotation the ceramic object has with the domestic environment in favour of its association with the art gallery. In this setting, any notion of meaning must therefore necessarily be bestowed by the viewer.
Read with you, this was a curator's statement. And I have put in fat the major words for me, which is ongoing dialogue between mobility and stability, but that offers no definitive answer. Of course, life is dynamic, so we cannot have any definitive answer. And maybe one of my thought about art, any art, is in fact we are here to propose a kind of manifestation of our perception of time. We all share one thing together, is time, but all of us we have different way to express it. So maybe it's a main theme of every art expression. It is in fact time. So existential manifestation, for me, I could propose that it is something in between space, material, and identity. So it's a kind of challenge in between these three. And if we focus on existential manifestation, all the three are concerned. If you change the space, you change the work. If you change the material, you change the work. And if you change the identity, I mean the identity of the artist, you will change the work too. I was impressed by this one, by the limit of the untouched. It's like a miracle, you know. Like, yeah. The untouched is also a manifestation of existence. You can touch very bodily. We have seen this in the Walter lecture yesterday. Sorry, you are here. Lecture yesterday, touch. And also some people like the opposite attitude, feeling of the untouched. This work is very provocative for me, and we spoke a lot of time in the frame of the jury about this work and another work that I think I'm not in the presentation now. So at the same time, comic and cosmic. At the same time, you can see a manga and you can see God spraying thought to material, a powerful breath. Maybe another point for me in this work, we all think in our societies that we are so powerful. Of course it is not, but it's a danger for our society that every individuality thinks too much for himself, so powerful, can destroy, can go through. So it's kind of very metaphysical and straight way of expressing.
For my personal benefit, explain what is meant, what the Sartre meant in 1 or 2 sentences.
Very easy. Man is responsible. It means that not dependently that where you come from, your culture, your identity, your psychology, you are responsible. And this is, in my mind, very important to understand, especially if we look at the big disaster of this world. We are responsible. I mean the wars, I mean the environment, I mean we are responsible for the future, and we are responsible for ourselves.
I was curious a little bit about your opening statement about being a painter and educated in that neighborhood, and then coming to this one. And do you feel? I'm asking this also because I've seen other artists do this. Do you feel there? Obviously, there's a set of knowledges within ceramics that one needs to become familiar with. But as someone trained in arts that aren't ceramics, I would think you would have, a kind of point of view that could be of interest.
Is one I think we as educators have some obligation to pass on to students. The fact is, we have to prepare students for a world that we don't know about, and we can't presume to know what that might be. But if we can give them the skills, which is about tradition, history, knowledges, technology, but also to understand that the implications of deviating from those things and what innovation that might bring about, we are at least trying to give young people of this world the best possible chance to make the world whatever it is that they're going to make it.
当代的这个环境里面，科技介入，那我觉得在陶瓷领域，我们第一个要去决定说，我们面对 要付出高度劳力参与的这个创作过程，为什么？你为什么要选择这个过程？你为什么要透过那么辛苦的劳动过程去参与创作？这在其他媒材是不太经常发生的。我所谓创作是包含了你去准备材料、制作，甚至于烧成，这些都是高度劳力参与的。这在其他创作媒材里面并不常见。可是这个是会变成我们要去思考，为什么你要去选择这材料的第一个态度。对我来说，这也是我们给每一个学生第一个要去思考的问题。